What is going down in Groovetown, every good people of the world? Welcome to the Mad Poet Show. I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. Thank you very much for being here. We got a new follower on Kick.com. Tap 5,000. Thank you very much for following. And I want to Derox. I'm going to jump forward here. Any Rings of Saturn songs? Let's go. You know, it's funny. I think that might be a reference to a band, but I actually have a song called A Journey to Saturn's Missing Ring, and I think it might be on this album. Right now I'm playing my album City of Souls, and it's my 51st album. I'm trying to remember what the songs are on here. It is not on this album. My apologies. I will not be playing a Rings of Saturn song. Yeah, I've got a song entitled Journey to Saturn's Missing Ring. And unfortunately, that is not queued up for today. So my apologies. But thanks for coming in. That was an interesting reference. And I want to, so I've got Alex Tremblay Del Norte, was messaging me yesterday, was chatting with me yesterday, and his chats were not showing up. That could be a female, Alex, I'm not sure. Their chats were not showing up. And they asked a question, when I say the Mad Poet, am I referencing Abdul Al-Hazred? I'm probably saying that wrong, which is a reference to Lovecraft. And no, that is not. I started to form a band about 8 years ago or so, and I was just going to use the moniker The Mad Poet. I wanted to use the Half Mad Poet, but that was already being used by a band out of Chicago that are really cool. I don't know if they're still active, but so I just went with the Mad Poet because no one was using that. And then musicians being musicians, the band never worked out. So when I started working on solo projects, I just kept the title. But it was not a Lovecraft reference, though. I dig that you know that. That's really awesome. And yeah, I am in the States. I'm near Spokane, Washington. So thanks for the 4th of July wishes. And thank you for coming in. I'm hoping that you saw my chat back to you in your DLive page. My chat has been a complete mess today, so my apologies if I miss anyone today. And this, I've mentioned this before, really one of the biggest challenges of multi-streaming the way I do, I'm streaming out to 15 different platforms, and it's really hard to collate all of the chats. So I've got this one thing that is supposed to collate 10 of my chats. Yesterday it showed that DLive was connected, but I didn't get the messages from it. Today I know that YouTube is not connected, and so I have to have like these backups, and it's a complete mess. But if you're familiar with what I do, of course you know that I'm not afraid of complexity. So here we go. All right. Derek's, if I'm probably saying your username wrong, if that was a reference to a band, I'm not familiar with them, but I do often get requests for cover tunes here, and unfortunately I'm not able to work with that because everything I do, currently I only do original music, and everything is set up in advance for the show. So today I'm going to be playing my 50-second and my 30-second albums, and so this is City of Souls. This is my 50-second album, and so that whole album is just loaded up in my system, and it just plays the songs in order. And then I'm going to switch over to my 30-second, which is the next one I've got queued up. That's called The Ship of Theseus. I'm going to play those songs. So the way my setup works, it's not really easy for me to just jump around to various places. It's kind of unfortunate, but that's the way it works. And yeah, so that's what's going on with all of that. Nonetheless, this is shaping up to be a little bit of a crazy show just because of my tech issues on this, and there's usually tech issues just about every show that I do. Every once in a while something goes really, really smooth, and it's amazing when it does, but not always. So nonetheless, thanks for the new followers, thanks for my viewers out there and any chatters we got. You're always welcome to ask questions, make comments, whatever you got, and of course you're always welcome just to kick back and watch the stream and enjoy. So let's get this going. We're going to slow it down a little bit here. This next piece is called Corroded Minds. All right. Got that choking hobby I'm still working on. Okay. Let's see if I can make it through this show today. Let's pick the pace back up here before I choke to death. This next piece is called At the Gates of the Empire. Right. Yeah, I feel like I am just, like this whole show is on the verge of just completely collapsing. Everything's actually running fine. It just feels like it's on the verge of collapsing, and I don't know why. I think it's because I was getting started, and there's this weird thing that has. So I use a browser called Vivaldi for my extra chats. I use Sheep Chat for my chats, and that allegedly collates up to 10 of them. Well, more than that, but I mean, of the ones I use, I can get 10 of them in there. And then I couldn't get YouTube to connect, so I had to pull that up in a separate place. So I start pulling that. I've got all these extra chats in Vivaldi. So I got like my live space chat and Rumble, and I've got some extra things for backups. And I had to pull up DLive in there because I wasn't sure, because I saw that Alex's stuff was not coming up in there from yesterday, and I'm like, okay, let me make sure that's running. So I pulled up my YouTube one, and then it does this weird thing, and it only seems to do it with LiveSpace. If I refresh the LiveSpace page, it shuts down Vivaldi. I don't know why. And so usually I'll just go up into the address bar, and then today when I hit the address bar in that, it shut. So I had to pull up Vivaldi like 3 or 4 different times just to get everything working. I'm like, So it was like really just kind of put me on edge right before the show. Whew. So we'll see if everything just falls apart here and collapses on me. I'm sure I've dealt with worse at some point. So the next one's called At the Mercy of the Antagonist. Okay, my chat is definitely not working correctly today because I see I've got an extra one for Kick. So, Gregor Johnny Depp, thank you for the follow. And Befouled? Welcome to the Mad Poet Society. Thank you very much for the follow, both of you. So I'm going to try and refresh the sheep chat. See if that does anything for us. And if I am missing chat messages from anyone on any platform, my apologies. That is never my intent. But sometimes it doesn't work out so well. All right, we'll see if that comes up and does anything for us. I have a little, so I'm going to do my best with all this. I'm just kind of seeing what I do have in the various places. And I want to double check where I can. Yeah. A little of this, a little of that. Okay, this is such a freaking mess today. Okay, let me pull this over here. And then I'm gonna have to come on, little computer. You can do this. I have faith in you. Okay. All right. Thank you for your patience, everybody. This is not the greatest solution to things, but hopefully we'll be able to get something going on here. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. And boom. Whew. Brutal. That keeps me in my standard of having no clue what's going on, so that's always good. We like it that way. Again, if you are chatting and I am missing the messages, my apologies. I'm not having the best chat day here with all of this, so we're gonna keep plowing through, see what we can do. I am kind of excited for the next album. When we get done with this one, I'm gonna be playing The Ship of Theseus, which I have never played live before. I did my recording of it back in, probably 2019. Might have been 2018, 29, somewhere around there. And was out for a jog a couple weeks ago, and one of the songs, had all of my music on random play, and one of the songs off of that came on. I'm like, I want to play this. So I'm like checking my phone, what album is this on? And so I went and programmed the lights and everything for that. So I'm looking forward to finally playing that one live. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully by the time we get there, we'll be in a little better shape. My brain will be working. Well, I know my brain's not going to be working in the next 3 hours. So, 52 years of no brain working out. We got no high hopes on that. So, all right. Anyway, let's see what we can do with this. This next one is dedicated to my friend Mike. He and I used to do a bunch of theater stuff together. He's an awesome guy. If you're out there listening, Mike, I hope you're doing well. This is called The Collapsing Wall. Greetings, Zarniver. Thanks for coming in on Kick.com. Says, sound good as always. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Zarniver, my first ever subscriber. And hey, Zarniver, I think this might be the first time you've come back since your subscription. There are some subscriber-only emotes available on Kick.com for my awesome subscribers now. So feel free to play with those if you would like. And let me know what you think, because they're pretty easy to make. And if the ones I put up suck, then we'll put up different ones. So, kind of fun stuff. That's the ones right there. Yeah, you get the Cyclops, the guitar dragon, the flaming guitar, just a guitar, an octopus playing a guitar with a top hat, a Van Gogh style octopus, and then what's that last one I did? That's, I don't even know what that is. Some other stuff. Whatever. So yeah, anyway, cool. And I can put up to, I think I can put up to 24 custom emotes just for subscribers, and I could put 6, so 60 emotes for general, and then 24 for just subscribers. So kind of cool. So I'm going to continue to play with that stuff. I've been having a lot of fun with it. And yeah, welcome back. Good to see you. Okay, and again, just because my chat has been a little on the crazy side, if I've missed any chat messages, my apologies. Also, Zarniver, I did give you an OG badge. I think I can give away like 25 of those. And since you were my first subscriber, you've got an OG badge on Kick for my channel. So, good stuff. Thanks for being here, everyone. Yeah, like I said, I feel like this whole show is just on the edge of falling completely apart, even though it's going kind of okay. So I'm going to keep playing here. We're going to see what happens. This next song is called The Chasm. And my sheet music just completely freaked out there. It like jumped to a page where I couldn't even see what song I was on. Okay, let's try this again. Alrighty then, what we got coming up here? Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, through our difficulties, we have arrived at the G sharp minor portion of the show. You are welcome. I think of all my G sharp minor pieces, this is probably my favorite one to play. This has a really great feel to it. The little motif that I set up in it kind of sets the mood for the improvisational solos. It fits really nicely in with how this all goes together. This piece is called Illuminated Dreams. All right, this next piece here, this is often the reason that I choose to play this album. Yesterday I played a song called The Long Way Home off of my album Bucket of Blood. And I said that of all of my songs, that was probably the least aptly named. The name of that song sounds nothing at all like the music. It's like if you just were to think of a song called The Long Way Home, you wouldn't ever imagine that. But this song may very well be my most aptly named. There are a lot of them that it's like, okay, yeah, you know, that one, I can see the title of that fitting the song. This one, in my opinion, when you listen to this song, it makes you feel like you are, in fact, after hours in the Blackwood mortuary. All right. Now, let me grab my stone. I'm going to slow it down here. Way down on this one. While I'm thinking of it, I need to make a note to adjust something. Because every time I play this album, I need to adjust the volume on my clean tone guitar. And I need to just go in and change that in the system so that I don't got to fiddle with it on my guitar. All right. And this is, I believe, the second to last. We might have got 2 or 3 songs left on this particular album. Then we're going to switch over to The Ship of Theseus. So I'm excited about playing that because I've never played that one live before. But slowing it down here. This is called In the Presence of the Dawn. Alright, this is the last song of this album. We're going to switch over to Ship of Theseus. For the first time ever. So I'm looking forward to Make sure I got that stool out of the way. I did. I've got this tendency where after I pull the stool out for a slow song, I'll set it right in front of the left camera. I've done that probably half a dozen times. Last song of the album is called Eulogy to Grief. It just seems to fit so well with me. It's also good. Thank you very much. And we got Bite Beagle. Cool username. I totally dig that. Just screams metal. Yes, thank you very much for coming out. Bite Beagle, I don't believe I have seen you in our chat before, but welcome to the Mad Poet Show. We just finished playing my 52nd album, and I'm going to switch over now to my 32nd album, which is titled The Ship of Theseus. And I've been looking forward to playing that. I've never played this one live before. And Bite goes, oh, you are new here? Excellent. Well, thank you very much for stopping into my little slice of the internet. And I hope you enjoy this. So we got one full album we're going to do before the show is over. Let's see if I'm okay. You can still hear me. That is good. It means I'm tracking to do things correctly here. It has been a bit of an interesting stream. As my regulars know, I am streaming out to 15 different platforms. And so, from a tech perspective, it can be a little wonky getting this stuff all to work. And as you can see, I've kind of got a complex setup going on with the program lights and the camera changes and everything. So it's an interesting, at least from my perspective, it keeps me on my toes. Let's put it that way. That's a good way to put it. Okay. And we still got vocals. That's good. Well, if I did everything correctly, this is going to work. Guitar's still working. Okay. And, okay, I just realized something that I'm going to need to continue. Oh, hey, Zarniver, thank you very much for the gift subscription for Bite Beagle. Greatly appreciated. And clearly, Bite Beagle also appreciates it. And I would like to thank Bite Beagle for the new follower. It's still just so cool to me that I've been growing so well on Kick, better than I've ever grown on any other platform. I've been on Twitch for over 3 years. I've been on Kick for like a few weeks, 5 weeks maybe, and I've only got like 160, 170 followers on Twitch, I think, and I've already got almost 120 on here, so that's awesome. And Bite Beagle, feel free to fiddle around. We do have some subscriber-only emotes that you're welcome to fiddle around with in chat. Okay, first time live ever. This album is titled The Ship of Theseus. And this first song is titled Life's About to Get. And I realized just after that song started that I did not set my lights to turn off at the beginning of the song, which is why they just turned off at the end of the song. So those lights will actually look better next time I play this, but let me add that to my notes here. All right. Cool. Zarniver says, I've yet to hear anything that you don't like. Well, that makes me feel good. Appreciate that. And Bite Beagle agrees. This says, love some drum and guitar. I do have that in spades here. So, yes. And again, for anyone who may be unfamiliar with what we got going on here, I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. Right now, we are playing my 32nd album titled The Ship of Theseus for the first time ever live, and I'm enjoying it. I've had, just the last couple days have been kind of tech issue heavy, and that is, we're continuing in the tech craziness today, but we're going to keep on going in spite of that, because that's what I do, baby. I hope everyone is having a great time out there, celebrating the 4th of July here in the U.S., if you are so inclined, and wherever you are in the world, celebrate whatever you want, because that's what we do. Bite Beagle, having a great time. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you found us. I'm glad everyone out there watching. I'm glad that you are part of what we got going on here. All right, let's keep the rock and roll going. This next piece is called Unable to Breathe. We got our first rogue light of the day, calling the lighting crew here. Done. Thank you very much. Bite Beagle wants me to play faster. I do have faster songs than that. I'm not. I actually don't really know what's coming up on this album. I practiced through it about a week ago, and so yeah, I'm really not sure what we got. So far, it's a pretty high energy little piece of stuff. I've been having a good time playing it here. It's lots of fun. I do want to put out a reminder that if you are chatting on any of my platforms and I don't see them, apologies. My chat has been a little bit wonky today, and I know that I may be missing. I shouldn't say I know. I suspect I may be missing parts of it, and unfortunately, once I'm live, there's only so much I can do with that. So no intent behind that. Yeah, I can see Kick. So come over to Kick and chat there. That's the place to be for chatting. And really, it's kind of the place to be. You know, for me, it's been just such a good platform. I think there are a lot of good streaming platforms out there, but Kick is the one that's working for me. So that's where I'm gonna concentrate most of my attention. Absolutely. This next one is in A minor, it looks like. Looks like we might be slowing down a little bit, but I'm not sure where this one's gonna go. So let's see what happens. This one's called Unexpected Outcome. Yeah, Zoner, on my music, I like to kind of have changes throughout. I like fast songs, slow songs, medium paced songs. I like to move around a little bit so it's not just the same all the way through. Definitely lots of good times. This one looks like we got a lot of key changes coming up in this one. Okay. That always makes for some interesting bits of improvisation. Let's see what we can do with that. Yeah, I've been thinking about it. I put those octopus emotes up on kick.com, and I'm kind of thinking about making like an octopus logo for my Mad Poet kind of main logo, and put like a big octopus logo back there with some lights behind it. I'm not sure exactly how to accomplish that yet. Bite Beagle, yes. These guitar solos are improvised. And the way that I often set up my songs, like these songs, I don't really have any motifs. A lot of my songs, I will have a little motif that I've written, and that will kind of set the mood for, or the theme, so to speak, of what I may improvise. So on a song I played earlier, the motif was, and that's all of the guitar solo that I actually composed. And then I just use that to say, okay, here's the idea that I'm going to play with throughout the course of this. And on this album, I don't really have many motifs set up, so I just kind of start playing the music and be like, okay, I'm gonna start fiddling around and just improvise. So yeah, sometimes it's a little bit more. I've got a set for it, a theme for it, but on these I'm just ripping. So if I were to play one of these songs twice in a row, or if you come back and hear the same album again, my guitar solos will be quite different. They might be kind of similar because I've got my own style, but I'm certainly not going to be playing the same solo. I can let you know an artist that is into metal if you want. Actually, I've already been working on the logo. I've got a few ideas that I'm already playing with, and I do a bit of graphic design. All of my album covers I've done my own art on, and that's really what kind of happened with that. So my first album released in 2004, and I had a couple of guest drummers on that, and some guest speakers, or a few spoken word bits in that. And then I played with a few different bands over the years, and there's just the normal struggle of trying to get musicians to show up, to practice, to not be high when they're at a show or at practice, or even to be at a show. And after a while, I realized that I was trying to put together a band, and I was running into all of the normal problems. And I realized, hey, if I just don't have singers, I can have my computer do everything else. And while I agree with you, I really enjoy playing with a full band. It's friggin' awesome. It's just so hard to get musicians together. And so basically I realized, hey, if I don't collaborate, because I'm not a great singer, so I'm not going to do vocals, but that may change in the future. I have been practicing my vocals a lot. I can start doing all the music I want. And so I decided at that point that what I was going to do was zero collaboration. And I took it all the way down to, I would have photographers say, hey, I've got this picture you could use for an album cover. I'd just be like, nope. And great photo, but not interested. Thanks for your time. And I wasn't trying to be mean. It's just, once I went full solo, it's like, this is all me now. And what I like about that is not only that I get to take the credit, which is great, but also I take full responsibility. If anything doesn't work, anything in this room doesn't work, that's on me. My chat doesn't work, that's my fault. My lights go wonky, I gotta fix that. Sound cuts out, hey, I did something wrong. And so there's no one else involved. And it's once I did that, I mean, I've released 66 albums on my own, which is pretty rare. Yeah. And it is cool. It is. And I think it's important to develop your own method, because that's really going to do a lot in helping to develop your own style as an artist of any stripe, whether you're a musician or a painter or a sculptor or a poet or whatever. Yeah, go for it. So that's kind of what's going on. And I have backed off that a bit. I have had a few people give names for albums and songs. My daughter was the first one to do that. I've had a few other people chime in with, "Hey, here's a song." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll take a song title from you." And if I end up singing on some of my albums, I may collaborate on lyrics, because I don't really enjoy lyric writing. I'm actually seriously considering sitting down one afternoon, or maybe evening. It doesn't have to be afternoon, but at some point, and just seeing what an AI can do for me as far as setting up some lyrics, because I don't really give a crap about the lyrics. So that's something I may be willing to collaborate on. I should stop. I have thought of that. I don't know how far I'm going to get with albums. I do know of other musicians who have over 100 albums. Buckethead has put out over 300, though some would argue that those don't count as full albums. His Pikes series, he's got over 300 of, and those are usually about 30 to 35 minutes long. And technically, the official definition of an album is at least 40 minutes or at least 10 songs. And so a lot of those would not qualify. I mean, nonetheless, the guy's got a stunning amount of output. Willie Nelson has over 100 albums out. There was a rapper who went by the name Viper, and he actually put out an album a day for over a year. But again, a lot of people would argue that those don't count, because a lot of those he would change like one chorus, and so it's like the exact same album, but one of the verses is changed in one of it. So it's like, is that really a new album? So it's yeah. I've heard that there is a lady in China. I've heard alternately that she either has over 700 songs or over 700 albums, and I've never been able to verify it. I have a little over 600 songs released on my 66 albums, so I mean, it's possible. I would like to get to over 100. I think that would be fun, and I've kind of slowed down lately for a few reasons. One, because I'm working on my vocals, and some because of the very special few songs that are coming up on my next few albums. So we'll see where it goes. Yeah, it would be kind of cool to put out exactly 666 albums. That would be pretty metal right there. I'm going to make no promises on any of that. Here's what I will promise. I'm going to play the next song. It's called The Angels, Demons. I just got to check something. I think I inadvertently muted my guitar at the end of that in my recording program. And in fact, I did. Okay, so I'm going to make a note to correct that. And then I will be right back with you. All right, note taken, and we got a new follower on kick.com, Julie Code 89. Welcome in. Thank you very much for following. And we got Shadow Dread 1981. Thanks for coming back. I've seen you before. Love your username. Friggin' awesome. Shadow Dread. Very cool. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. Having a great time playing my 32nd album for the first time ever live. The album is called The Ship of Theseus. And for those who may not be familiar with the reference, The Ship of Theseus is it's a philosophical conundrum. So Theseus was this mythical explorer dude, and so he had this ship. And as they're adventuring along, they would have to take a board off and replace it. And so they got this new board on the ship. And so and then they take another board off and replace that. And over time, they replaced every single board on the ship. And so the question, the philosophical conundrum, the question is it still the same ship after you've replaced every single part? And then, if you had kept all the original parts and restored them and rebuilt the boat, would that be the original ship? So that is the Ship of Theseus conundrum. And I am also not sure what we are testing, but Lauren and Kristen, Kristen and Shadow Dread, I hope that your test has proved to be successful and that you have passed it with flying colors. There we go. Good test. But yes, thank you very much to all of my new viewers, new subscribers, new followers out there, my tippers, everyone who's coming in, no matter where you're coming in from. If you're new to what we're doing here, I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. And we're rocking. Because that's what we do. Let's keep this going. This next song is in C sharp minor. It's called Many Years Before. It's kind of a fun little song. I like that. Good times, good times. What else do we got going on here? My vocals working. They are. Okay, good. Things are working. Yeah, I need to sit and really spend a little more time with my chats and figure out some of the things that tend to go wrong with connections and stuff. I need to jump on the Sheep Chat Discord and ask a few questions, see where I'm going wrong with that. Yeah. How do you guys feel about B minor? I hope you feel good about B minor because the next song is in B minor, whether we like it or not. That's just the way it is. Relative to D major, F sharp Phrygian. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do it now because that's what we do on a Tuesday afternoon at the Mad Poet Show on the internet. This song is called The Fire in Her Eyes. Alrighty then. So this next song is going out to my friend Lori. Oh, I got the wrong camera there. And I'm going to make a note of that. Considering this is the first time that I've done this album, it's probably good to make a few notes about changes. This song is going out to my friend Lori. She is Sarah's cousin, and they are total buddies. She's an awesome gal. I sent her a message just before I started the show, letting her know I'd be playing her song. I haven't even had a chance to look at my phone because I've been busy doing a show. So I don't know if she's out there, but if you are, hola prima, hope you're doing well. This piece is called Talk to the Moon. Mike Stampede 77 in on YouTube. Thanks for being here, my guy. Good to see you again. And I didn't think the YouTube chat was working on my main chat, but apparently it is. My chat has been a complete mess today. Thank you for your patience on that. And Bite Beagle earlier, I was playing a really fast song. I think it was the second one. And he said, faster. Actually, now that I think about it, Bite Beagle may not be a dude. They said faster. And I said, I don't know if I got a faster song on this album, but I think this next one might be. So I think you might get your faster wish, Bite Beagle. And this one, I'm also curious about how this one's going to work out. We're going to be going back and forth between sheet music on screen and me on screen quite a bit. A lot of my songs where I go to sheet music, I only switch over one time. This one's going to switch over quite a bit. This is an interesting piece from my perspective. We'll see what you guys think about it. This one is called Burn the World. Oh, what did I do wrong? I did something wrong. I think I know what I did wrong. Okay. Whew. Calm down, little Randy. It's been a crazy show. Loving it. Not sure what I think about that one. It was fast. It was definitely fast. Okay, I'm going to reiterate for the last time. Apologies if I have missed anyone's chat messages. My chat has been a little wonky today. I do want to say thank you very much to my new followers, new subscribers, new viewers out there. We've had a few people coming in that we haven't seen before. Always great. Greatly appreciated. I've had a really good time doing this. First time ever playing the Ship of Theseus live. We got one song left today. And if you recall the first song title from this album was called Life's About to Get. And this song title finishes it up. The song is called A Little Weirder. That was the song that made me want to play this album. I was out for a run, listening to my own music on random, which I sometimes do, and that came on, and I'm like, I want to play this live. And it was worth it. That was a fun song to play. This was a very wild show for me, trying to work with all the tech issues and everything. The last few days have just been kind of tech issue crazy. And you know what? We just work with it. That's the way it is, kids. We're just going to keep on rolling. And that's all I've got for the day, but I'm going to try to work through some more tech issues tomorrow. Thank you very much for the compliments, Zarver. And again, thank you to my new followers, new subscribers. Thank you to my new viewers, everyone out there. Thanks to my chatters, my lurkers, my listeners, my smellers, whatever we got. Wherever you are, whatever you do, do it well. Until the next time.